Sally tangles with Summer, and Phyllis makes a shocking decision after a brush with death. Diane is shocked when Jack admits that he just proposed to her in the cabin. Although he is aware that it could be accidental, he nonetheless feels it to be right and inevitable. They are a pair who are meant to be. There is no need for it to be more difficult than that. She is told to wait as he quickly leaves. Alone, she remembers back to the battles she had with Jack when she first brought Allie into his life, and all the ups and downs until they finally got back together. She sighs, looking miserable, and worries that Jack won't be able to believe her. Stark texts her to let her know that she can't disappear indefinitely. Eventually, Jack comes back. He pours champagne and celebrates her new life, as well as the improvements she has made to his. He envisions a wonderful future for them. He asks her to marry him and make him the luckiest guy in the world after they'd each take a sip. He does this by getting down on one knee. He opens a jewelry box. She exhales. She tells him with tears in her eyes how much she loves him and how appreciative she is. Becoming his wife would bring her the greatest happiness, but unable. She says, "We can't." Jack seemed to be in tears. On the couch in Stark's suite, Phyllis awakens. She is fortunate to be alive, he says as he sits close by. She recalls all of her drinking. It is somewhat hazy. Maybe she'd been in a crash, she wonders. He says that he saw her stagger out of the hotel and intervened to prevent her from being struck by a car. In the middle of the street, she collapsed. "And why did you bring me here?" she queries. He says he was assisting her when she needed it. She believes he intends to use her in his plot against Diane. Stark notes that she may have been captured on security footage, wandering aimlessly and nearly dying. She won't allow anyone to intimidate or threaten her. He gives her a glass of water and compliments her on her fortitude. Stark advises Phyllis to reflect on the events in her life that led up to this evening. He was resentful for years after being sent to prison. Then, one day, he had an epiphany that calmed him. He determined to utilize his burning feelings as gasoline to direct onto the guy who ruined his life. Both of them are furious with Diane. They may take her down together because serenity can come with purpose. Phyllis refuses to hear Jeremy's plan, despite his assumption that she will be intrigued. The proposal would have a negative impact on her world. He believes that this is her best chance to regain her mojo. They could beat Diane if she had a goal in mind. It's not a good idea, but Phyllis will think about it as she stumbles to the door. He tells her that he's done doing this alone and advises her to consider it. He will find someone else if it's not for her, but he doesn't want her to lose out. Adam enters society. He recalls telling Sally he would want to attend some of her doctor's appointments as he drinks at a table. When Nick enters, he asks his brother if he has any guests. Nick reclines. He believes they should talk about Sally's significant news. Nick informs his brother he's in a difficult situation while drinking beer. They discuss the future of the situation. Adam tells him that he would adopt the child without having an effect on Sally and Nick. "Her welfare is what I'm worried about," Nick explains. He is confident that his brother will take advantage of this circumstance to enter Sally's life. Nick believes Adam will significantly complicate and stress out Sally's life. Nonetheless, this sounds like a warning for Adam to back off. Adam claims that he is acting as though he has embraced his role in the child's life. Nick implores him not to prioritize his desires over those of Sally. Adam claims he was mistaken in thinking their sibling bond had changed and that he is now viewing things differently. Adam is beginning to believe that their father comprehends him better than he does himself. Nick is unsure of how to react to that. Adam admits that the last months have had a significant impact on him and that he has had to really reevaluate his life. He was reminded to value individuals and not take them for granted by spending time with Chelsea and Connor. Now that he can see people more clearly, he can appreciate how thoughtful and decent his brother was to him. He'll make an effort now if he didn't up to the challenge back then. Summer runs into Sally when she wanders inside Crimson Lights. She makes an attempt at small chat. Summer doesn't understand the purpose. She would like to discuss her dad's relationship with the redhead. Has the situation deteriorated or gotten worse? She explains that she is expecting. Summer's horrified. Summer immediately makes the assumption that it is Adam's child when Sally emphasizes that it is not Nick's. She believes that splitting up would be best for her and Nick. Sally makes it abundantly apparent that she and Adam are not reconciling. Nick is the perfect partner for her because they are in this together. Spectra hopes Summer would consider this and realize the value of what she and Nick have. You couldn't be any more self-centered, Summer pictures. Aren't reconciling again. Nick is the perfect partner for her because they are in this together. Spectra hopes Summer would consider this and realize the value of what she and Nick have. You couldn't be any more self-centered, Summer pictures. Billy and Kyle cross paths in the Grand Phoenix lobby. Jack and Diane are brought up. Billy acknowledges that he expressed his joy for Jack. How does Kyle feel about his parents getting back together? He knows Ashley is furious. "You're suddenly going to be the sympathetic uncle?" asked Kyle. Billy is worried and aware of his precarious situation. Kyle acknowledges that while he would love to see his parents happy, he is concerned that his mother would hurt Jack once more. Although he has no doubts about her love for him, it's difficult to forget the things she done. Billy has some experience with this. Jill has never provided a nurturing environment. On the other hand, his father was fantastic. He comprehends Kyle's need to defend the father who has always been there for him. Billy believes that individuals can develop into the kind of people you want them to be. Kyle might still be able to have the family he's always desired, according to him. Kyle has to return to his job. Billy requests that Kyle inform Jack to call him and let him know that he's seriously thinking about accepting his proposal. Diane explains to Jack and his family at the cabin why it would not be fair for them to accept his proposal. She cannot continue to make his life chaotic. They must quit avoiding Stark and their love, according to Jack, who argues that they are a team. Because it wasn't the perfect time for them, they never took the final step. He firmly believes that this is the ideal moment to act. He begs for a yes response. She complies and kisses him in shock. "Yes, 1,000 times over," she exclaims. The ring is put on her finger by him. Phyllis and Billy cross paths in the hallway. He feels she has been through better times. She inquires about Jack. Billy explains that his brother and Diane left on a romantic getaway. He says, "Strange, isn't it? They appear to be in it for the long haul." Sally at Crimson Lights understands that Summer will have a lot to process. She acknowledges that she and Nick don't know what the future will bring, but she claims that they are forging a connection and hopes that his daughter would appreciate that. They are content together, according to Sally. Summer is certain that Spectra is taking advantage of Nick's huge heart and that Sally is using her father as a shield to protect herself from Adam. Summer doesn't see how this can turn out good for anyone, despite Sally's assertion that their feelings are genuine. She flounces off. Chaos is all you're capable of generating. After her encounter with Billy, Phyllis returns to Stark's room at the hotel. She says, "I'm in," as soon as he opens the door.